everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTGGhoulDude, and today we continuing the 3-day spoilers from Chicago MagicCon. And today we are doing probably the one I was the most excited about and the ones that I had the most speculation about that I wanted to see come to fruition, and that is Assassin's Creed. You've already read the title, you already know what you're looking forward to. I'm just going to be gushing all up and down on these spoilers because this is actually something that, you don't get a lot of crossover with Assassin's Creed most of the time. You see it here and there, but not all the time. So let's go on ahead and get real deep into it. Starting off with the Animus. And this is a legendary artifact for 2 generic mana. Not bad. But at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target legendary creature card from a graveyard with a memory counter on it. So you just consistently just exile away your own graveyard. But what you can do is you can tap it, and until next turn, target legendary creature you control becomes a copy of a target creature in exile with a memory counter on it. But you can only do that as a sorcery. So if an assassin has a really good ability that's in the graveyard that you've exiled with a memory counter on it, then you can tap it, go to combat, swing with it, and all that good stuff. Or if it has like an ETB or something. Oh, it says until your next turn. So it's that thing the whole time. That's actually pretty cool. Then we have the Hidden Blade for 2 generic mana. It is a artifact equipment with flash, and whenever it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. If that creature is an assassin, it gains death touch until end of turn. And the equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has first strike. So at that point, it just gives a creature first strike death touch, which can kill just about anything unless it's indestructible or it's going to be regenerated, because that'll just save it. But we do have a buy a box promo for this set, and it looks awesome. You can see Bayek wielding the first gauntlet. And that's actually really, really neat. I like that a lot. I love that. I love playing that game. And so now we move into they have the same, but this is one of the cards that are going to be like the treasure pieces. This is the Sword of Feast and Famine for 3 generic, and man, it looks totally different with this like new frame, like the metal sword frame kind of sorta. It's actually pretty cool, and I like it. I like the seeing it from the game art perspective too. Oh, I loved playing Origins. But if you don't know what the Sword of Feast and Famine does, it gives a creature +2/+2 and has protection from black and green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card and you untap all lands you control, and it equips for 2. Oh. Then we have Haystack for 1 colorless and a white, and you can tap it, target creature you control phases out, and it'll come back the next turn. Then we have Leonardo da Vinci with him in the art, this extended art or alternate art, borderless, whatever, with painting the Mona Lisa, which is actually pretty cool, with some of his earlier working sketches in the back. Leonardo da Vinci is a 3/3 for 2 and a blue legendary creature human artificer, and for 3 generic and 2 blue until end of turn, Thopters you control a base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. And for 2 and a blue, you can tap it, draw a card, and then discard a card. If the discarded card was an artifact, exile it from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 0/2 Thopter artifact creature with flying in addition to its other types. So you just make all kinds of things, especially if they're like really powerful artifacts. Like you can, what is that? The Mycosynth Golem or something. The Michael Synth Make it all of those. That'd be pretty dope, though. I could see that. I could see that working actually pretty well. And then the special thing about these serialized cards is they're going to be in that character's their language that they spoke. So Leonardo da Vinci spoke, I believe it was French or Italian. I don't know. I haven't played that in a while. Then we have Temporal Trespass for 8 and 3 blue. Wow. And Delve. Huh. It says take an extra turn after this one. Exile it. And I like the Minerva reference from the game. It's actually pretty neat. I do not wish to speak with you, but through you. You are the prophet. You've played your part. It's pretty wild. Then we have like Temporal Trespass was a reprint. Then we have the Cover of Darkness for 1 and a black. And I thought that would have been the most flavorful card. Cover of Darkness is probably the most fitting when it comes to this. And I think this is like from Unity, where it's assassins working together. But if you don't know what Cover of Darkness does, when it enters the battlefield, it's an enchantment. You choose a creature, assassins, for a deck like this. Creatures of the chosen type have fear. They can't be blocked by artifact creatures or black creatures. So if you're playing a mono black assassin deck, you make all of your assassins that can't be blocked except by black or artifact creatures. That's actually pretty good. Here we have Altair for a red, a white, and a black. It's a 3/3 with first strike. Whenever he attacks, exile up to 1 target assassin's creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. Exile those tokens at the end of combat. That's actually really, really good. I would definitely play that. And then we have the memory capsule, the memory frame, which I'd call it the Animus frame, but we have this art of Altair. That's actually pretty cool. I have this insatiable need to collect this whole set. I want to complete the set. Then we have Cleopatra, Exiled Pharaoh for 2, a black and a green. It's a 2/4 with some abilities. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target legendary creatures. Huh. Whenever a legendary creature with counters on it dies, draw a card for each counter on it, and you lose 2 life. That's kind of wild. Because we have a bunch of commanders nowadays that use like keyword counters and +1/+1 counters. So if they got a creature big enough and it dies, or you kill it, then you just draw a bunch of cards. And you lose 2 life. That's not as bad as all. And this one would also be in their native tongue, but this one's not a serialized card. So you'll get this one in English or whatever you're getting your cards from. It's actually pretty cool. And these are going to be in the starter decks. We have EVR Battle Ready for 3 generic, a red and a white. It's a 5/5. Legendary creature, Human Assassin Warrior. It has vigilance and haste, and they have the reminder text. Whenever she attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipment you control to each opponent. So it doesn't have to be equipped. You can just throw them out there on the battlefield. That's a good way to do it. Oh, man, that is busted. Oh. You can do the old trick of making all of your artifacts equipments. Pretty dope. And then we have Ezio, Blade of Vengeance for 3 generic, a blue and a black. It's a 5/5 with Death Touch. Whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's pretty good. Then we have the regular frame of Ezio Auditore di Frenzy. For 1 and a black, it's a 3/2 with Menace. Sets and spells you cast have free running. for 2 black, and free running is the cost. It's an alternative casting cost for if you have hit your opponent with your commander or an assassin, and then you can have free running. All your assassins have free running, so you can cast them for 2 black. It's actually not that bad of a deal, to be honest. So you just need to hit them with an assassin or your commander. And then his third ability is whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may pay Wooburg, so making this a 5-color commander. If that player has 10 or less life, when you do, that player loses the game. So you just go on ahead and sever their ties. This is one of those multi-piece art things. This is going to be a total of 6, I believe they said, and this is one of them. You put them together to make an art piece, which is pretty neat. And this is his Animus frame of Ezio. That's actually pretty cool. I like that one. And that is all we have from Comic-Con. I mean, not Comic-Con, Magic-Con from Chicago. I'm thinking of the C's and it was messing me up. But what do you guys think about this new Universes Beyond? What they're doing with the ones that they've got so far? What do they have? Like Warhammer, The Walking Dead, My Little Pony. What do you guys think about all that? Let me know down in the comments below. Maybe we can chat about it. But that is going to be it for today. I really hope that anybody that watched this enjoyed it. Anybody that has love for Assassin's Creed as much as I do, I feel like we could really just chat about it in the comments about what we were expecting versus what we actually got. But that's going to be it for today, and I will see you guys next time in the graveyard.